Hey guys, this video is for anybody who has been in an abusive relationship and is trying to find themselves afterwards. I'm going to talk to you about the 3 things that you must do after you come out of an abusive relationship to help yourself to heal, become a whole person, and move on again. I'm going to give you the 3 things that I did when I came out of an abusive relationship that changed my life completely. When you come out of an abusive relationship, it's really hard to have a full sense of who you are. Lots of things happen in an abusive relationship. Your sense of self is destroyed. Often your social circle is destroyed. Your belief in yourself, your self-love suffers quite drastically during an abusive relationship. There has to be a lack of that in order for the abuse to happen in the first place. Even if that has been something that has been kind of groomed and manipulated beforehand, in order to find yourself in an abusive relationship, there is a lack of self-love happening. And that is a very hard thing to hear, but it is the truth. And if you work on these things, you won't find yourself in an abusive relationship again. I feel so passionately about this that most of my coaching is based around this, helping people to love themselves and hold space for themselves so that they don't fall back into destructive cycles, destructive patterns of relationships. People say one of 2 things when you come out of a relationship. They either say you need to just sit and love yourself and just love yourself, but they don't tell you how to love yourself. I'm going to do that. Or they tell you to go out and sleep with as many people as possible to get the other person out of your system. Now, that's not particularly healthy. What we want to do is we want to work on the core problems that have allowed us to fall into that abusive relationship in the first place, because when you come out of an abusive relationship, you're actually in kind of a beautiful place. It's a very broken place, but from that place you can rebuild things properly within you in a way that they weren't present before, so that as you go on through life, you don't find yourself hitting those same cycles again. So number 1, date yourself. This is so important, and I literally do mean this the way I say it, and I did it. And if you have followed me on TikTok at all, you will see that I documented it. So about 3 or 4 years ago, I came out of an abusive relationship and I documented my journey of healing and how I did it. And one of the things I did was I took myself on dates. And I do literally mean I would get dressed up. I took myself to the theatre. I took myself out for meals, actually all the time. That became one of my favorite things to do. I took myself to the cinema. I took myself on walks. I took myself on a picnic. I took myself for spa days. I also had date days at home. So I would set out some really delicious food and a really nice movie and have my duvet, maybe light the fire, have an open fire, which is really special to me. And that would become a date day for me. Or, taking my motorhome and sitting with some paint and just sitting and painting with some nice music on, some incense on. That for me was dating myself. Now, dating yourself might look different to you. Dating yourself might be mountain biking through the woods, or it could be taking yourself to the library to sit and read new books that you've never read before. Dating yourself can be as kind of exciting as taking yourself for dance lessons with a bunch of strangers, or it can be something as mundane as cooking yourself some food with beautiful intent and lighting some candles and eating in a really lovely environment. This is so important because it tells your brain that you are lovable. It teaches you to enjoy being with yourself. It teaches you to treat yourself the way you want other people to treat you. And people say it all the time. You have to treat yourself the way you want other people to treat you. That's fine and true, but they don't go into enough detail. In order to do that, like anything, it takes time, it takes practice, and you have to put in the work. You have to put in the work to actually date yourself, spend time with yourself. This isn't an overnight thing. I'm sorry to tell you, this isn't something where you're going to go, okay, great, I watched this video and then, I did some affirmations for a week and now I'm healed. I love myself. That's just not how it works. Think about how old you are. Maybe you're in your 20s, maybe you're in your 50s, maybe you're anywhere in between. It has taken you all of your life to get to a point where you are in this situation, you've come out of an abusive relationship because there was a lack. You had a lack of something for yourself, value, love. I don't know what it was in your situation, but there was a lack. And what we want to do is fill that gap. We want to build that, but building anything properly takes time. Once you have dated yourself for at least 3 months, but I would say a year is a good amount of time. I would say for me, the first 3 months felt forced. The next kind of 6 months, I kind of enjoyed it. And by months like 9 to 12, it was just my natural state of being. And I still have it now. Years on, I still have that same ethos. I still have treasured time and things and events that I do by myself. And I feel much more whole as a result of it. So take as long as you can before you move to the next step. Step number 2. This is so important. Look at your circle. So important. You are only as good as the best 5 people in your life. Actually, let me rephrase that. You are only as good as the 5 people you spend most time with. Really think about this. Now you spent all this time cultivating this love for yourself, and you're in a position where you enjoy doing things by yourself, for yourself. Think about the people you spend most time with. Most people spend a fair amount of time, especially if you're someone that has been caught in an abusive relationship. You're probably an empath and you feel like you have healing to give to people, or you feel like you need to make excuses for other people's behavior. And I need you to think about this as though you are giving advice to your baby sister or your best friend. And I need you to think about, what do you deserve? And you need to spend months on this too. None of this is a fast process. This is a whole rebuilding of who you are. I want you to look at, how do people respond when you ask for anything? When you need some time, when you need some attention, when you need someone to go with you for something, you need someone to be there for you. I want you to look at how equal are your relationships. Are you getting value from them? Are you giving value to them? Once you've done that, you're comfortable, you love yourself, you value yourself, you're really comfortable that you're only giving your energy to people who are not taking it unnecessarily, people who give back some energy to you and add value to your life, then you can move on to step number 3. Now, step number 3, this is complicated and this is scary. Step number 3 is learn how to be vulnerable again. This is hard. This can look like meditating on vulnerability or reading books about vulnerability. And as you progress and feel a little stronger and a little more capable, putting yourself into situations where you feel vulnerable. And it's really important that these are not abusive situations. It's not, what I mean by in a situation where you feel vulnerable is, I mean, you've checked your circle, the healthy people that you have around you, and these healthy people want to love you. And this next step involves you opening your heart again, because when you come out of an abusive relationship, very, very often we shut everything down. We become very hard. We become very, we either perpetuate the cycle and get straight back into it. Or if you're watching this, the chances are you're where I was when I came out of it, saying, no, this is not my life. This is not what I want anymore. So in order to do that, you now need to learn how to allow people to love you. You now need to learn how to accept compliments. You need to learn how to be able to sit in an uncomfortable feeling within yourself where you're concerned that you might get hurt, but all the while looking to the quality of people that you're spending time with. So you've done the checks. You know that you feel good about yourself. You're valuing yourself. Keep checking in with that. You've checked that the people you're giving your energy to are positive people. And if you're in those situations, you can tick those boxes, then go ahead and allow yourself to be vulnerable. And that might mean you're at a stage where you're looking to meet someone else romantically. It might mean that you're looking to cultivate a new friendship. That's a safer way to go, to be honest. We all know that if you're searching for a new relationship and you're looking for a specific thing really, really hard, the harder you're looking for it, the more you're actually pushing it away. But we'll go into that in another video. But for now, this next step is a period of your life where you learn to be vulnerable, to open yourself up. And that might mean getting hurt. That might mean you meet a new friend, you think they're incredible, you've kind of got a mismatched energy and they go off. Or maybe they were just supposed to be in your life for a few weeks or a few months and you're hurt by that process, but you need to learn how to be vulnerable, how to love, how to be loved, how to stay vulnerable and heart open, and how to not crumble underneath that experience. Once you've done these things, you are going to be in a much, much stronger position. I promise you. I'm sure you relate to at least some of what I've said, because if you're watching this video, you've definitely been in a similar situation to me. I would love you to reach out. I would love to talk about our situation. I would love to any questions that you might have. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope to see you in the next one. Please click subscribe if you'd like to see more of my content. Have a good day.